In the freshwater rivers of Rivendell live the Sisati species. The Sisati is a circular, water-residing organism about the size of a tennis ball, with one tentacle on either side of its body. The Sisati have 2 eyes on the front side of their head, which allow them to use sight to navigate their surroundings. They have a small round mouth, used to suck algae off rocks and phytoplankton from the water. Surrounding the Sisati's mouth are 2 sets of gills, which allow them to breathe underwater. The Sisati do not have the ability to breathe above water.
The Sisati has evolved a murky gray-green exterior that allows them to camouflage with the rocks and algae nearby. Along with the camouflage, the Sisati have tentacles with suction cups that gives them the ability to grab rocks and move them to create more beneficial habitats that they can survive in. The tentacles are about 1.5 times the length of the body and are fleshy and flexible. These tentacles also help the Sisati feed on algae and phytoplankton and defend against predators. Suction cups are also found on the bottom of the Sisati, helping it grip to rocks during floods and currents, and when needed, move rocks by suctioning onto them and shifting them to the side with their tentacles. The females have an aperture on the top of their heads for releasing pheromones, which hole is absent in the males. Both males and females have a cloaca on the underside of the organism where both gametes and wastes are released.
The Sisati habitat consists of the northernmost part of the river, which is typically 3 feet deep with mild rapids. The biotic factors include algae and phytoplankton, which are the Sisati's food source, seagulls, which are their predators, and other fish and aquatic specimens of this area, including crawdads, trout, salmon, carp, and bass. There are also plants in this habitat which the Sisati use as shelter, including cattails, algae, and rushes. The abiotic aspects of this habitat include rocks, which the Sisati use as shelter, sand, dead tree limbs, litter from the elves, sunlight, which allows the algae to grow, the current, minerals in the water, the turbidity of the water, and oxygen.
The Sisati has many aspects to its niche. First, the Sisati lives in the bottom of the river, however there is an abundance of sunlight due to the water only being 3 feet deep. Because of this, algae is plentiful in this part of the river. The Sisati lives within an abundance of rocks, ranging from cantaloupe-sized rocks to quarter-sized rocks. It uses these rocks as a resource for shelter, a place to lay their eggs, and as an object to latch onto to avoid getting swept up in the current. Second, the Sisati competes for space with the crawdads and fish that also find shelter in the rocks. They also compete with the fish for the algae as a food source, and with the crawdads for their second food source, phytoplankton.
The Sisati have many innate behavioral adaptations. They are genetically programmed with a flight instinct as a response to an internal chemical reaction. This is a beneficial adaptation because the Sisati are far more likely to be able to move quickly away with their tentacles than to fight because they lack offensive characteristics. The Sisati also have an innate ability to use their tentacles to dig into the sediment and rock of the riverbeds to lay their eggs and then cover them with sand in order to protect their eggs from the strong currents and predators.
The Sisati females attract males by first creating a hole in the rocks to lay eggs downstream, where the current is more mild. They then release a pheromone to attract males. The pheromone moves with the current downstream until it reaches the males, who, upon tasting the pheromone, act on their instinct to travel downstream to find the female. Once the males have found the males will move to the female and they will both release sperm and egg simultaneously as they are both positioned deep into the hole.
The Sisati are our mating strategists, meaning that there is no parental care after birth. This also means the Sisati live uniformly, meaning that each lives in isolation and with uniform distance between them. The Sisati reproduce 2 to 3 times a month, and each reproduction cycle leads to 16 to 20 offspring. Approximately 8 will live to adulthood, which for Sisati is between 3 and 4 years old.
The Sisati have 2 main predators. First, there are the seagulls, which swoop into the water and catch the Sisati. The second predators are the large crawdads at the floor of the river, which eat the Sisati after capturing them with their claws. The Sisati's main defense for this is camouflage, which helps the Sisati hide from the predators. Despite the Sisati only having camouflage for defense, their population has continued to grow because of their frequent reproduction rates. The Sisati preys on algae and phytoplankton. These 2 species are found in areas with a large abundance of sunlight, making the Sisati's ideal habitat shallow river water.